Am I streaming?
I'll find out for you.
Yay! Oh, I need to change that up there.
Yeah, it's starting.
Yeah, which one's that one? Image
text.
7. So I just need to change it technically?
Yeah.
Well, how do I do that? Do I just double click on it? That's not it. I'm doing well! I need the text. Ah, there we go. Alright, now we're done.
I'm not hearing the music, so you'll need to turn that up.
Huh?
All the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
But that should be fine. I'll go and grab that.
Are you gonna
And I'll put it on there.
because are you gonna sit on my chat for me?
Yeah.
Sweet. Alright, let's set ourselves up then. Who can't say I'm not prepared? Oh, I know what I should do. Make sure this is muted. There we go. Now we're done. Right. We ready to begin? Okay, so I'm just going to apologise now. This will feel a bit rushed together. We just got back from HETALIA in the UK, and I got up this morning and my body decided it didn't like me. So I've been ill for most of the day, but I'm a lot better now. So yay! Day of sleep helped. Secondly, I need to do a quick apology for last week's stream. I got something wrong. This image you're seeing here, I accidentally put it in the Dream Team folder when it's not actually Dream Team. When I looked again, I believe it's meant to go in the Sketchy Tomatoes folder, but if anyone wants to clarify that for me, please feel free. Whoops. I'm glad people enjoyed last week as well, considering that we were trying so hard to get your stuff wrong on our guessing, because that's more fun that way. And that the teaching proportion kind of worked, but at least it's helping us figure out what we need to do in the future. Right? So that's that one done, so we will just get rid of that one. So, more or less got everything for every team again this week. We haven't done anything for this week. We were uber busy getting prepared for a convention because I was selling at it, and so was Tricro, so we had more pressing things on our agenda. But everybody apart from I think Kitty and Bunny I found stuff for this week, so I guess we can start from there. Start off again with the Dream Team as like last time. And just so people know, I am not seeing the chat. Tricro is seeing the chat, but you're gonna let me know.
Bambi said hope you feel a little better soon, and then Queen has said hello.
Thank you.
Do you want me to just like interrupt you anytime they say something?
Yeah,
useful?
sure, go for it. Why the hell not? So first off, we have stuff from the Dream Team, in no particular order. Let's have a look at this first piece and zoom. So I did see this. Everyone else has obviously seen this on the Discord as well, but we have a tiny bit of a script thing here, which is Germany and America conversing. It's about the economy, Poppy.
Nice.
Touchy subject. But yeah, no. So it appears that America is being a self-centered little so and so, and a meeting is occurring. Who can say more than that? Doesn't really give us much to say, but at least we know where the game's actually going to be headed. That's always something nice. Next we have something that's just called Title 2. So I'm assuming this is for the title screen. Try to think. It's weird, right? But when you look at it, it's going to sound really weird when I say it. Reminds me of the Monstro level from Kingdom Hearts. Do you see it? Or is it just me?
Oh, I'm kind of waiting for it to come up on my
On your screen.
I mean, I think so. It's a little... Certainly because you've got a darker screen than I have. It's got a blue background.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like how it was that weird purpley blue thing with all the splotches. It's not going to be that. It's going to be like far from that.
I have literally no idea as to what it could possibly be. Like,
Unless...
I haven't read any of the chats all week, so like...
Well, no, we haven't. We've been busy.
I mean, you're more up to date with the chat than I am.
So yeah, no, but that's what I can see. But it's not going to be there. Not unless, like, you know, out of nowhere, halfway through their game, a giant whale comes down and just swallows them all up. Although that would be a good plot twist. I definitely wouldn't see that coming.
Just so you're aware, Maple almost stabbed themselves with a fork, running over to the computer so they could catch this.
Good to know. Dedication. So yeah, no, I'm assuming it's not Monstro the whale. I'm really getting distracted because this one over here looks like a fish. And I'm just like, yeah, fish! I need to stop. Carrying on. I'll leave those two for a minute. Next one is, we've got a map. What can we say about this? It's, I'd say it's a bloody good map. Pause for laughter.
I'm trying to look at them on the stream that I'm watching.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Because I cannot see anything that's on that computer across the way.
From what I can tell, it's a corridor with a lot of windows and a lot of blood. So I'm assuming something bad happened. That would be my assumption. Something bad happened. Or somebody likes to walk through blood. Although this down here appears to be like... I don't know, is it a creature or it's just like a statue? But something bad happened.
I'd say that my only critique I have with it is, and it's just a small critique,
Right.
is that the corridor itself, now obviously this could be all in a dreamscape so it doesn't necessarily matter, but like the corridor itself doesn't make sense structural wise for a corridor.
Alright, no, I get what you're saying.
Like architecturally it doesn't make sense.
I mean, if it's a dream, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Or if it's like a warped reality. But no, I get you, I do.
But it's just my concern with where the windows are placed and stuff like that.
Do you mean like down
like
here?
looking onto an outside building kind of thing.
Right, yes.
But
Hey, it could also be Fallout, so technically we're in a cave, so it doesn't actually matter where the windows are, because you can't see anything.
In which case, why have windows?
Because windows make you think that you're in a bigger place.
But it is a good map.
Oh no, it's a very good map, yeah. A lot of distress and stuff. Next we have this one, which is the meeting room where they apparently were playing cards. That is a good use of our time in a nation meeting. Apparently Russia is letting France know it's okay to fall asleep on trains sometimes. So you hear that, Tricrow? It's okay to fall asleep on trains sometimes.
By sometimes I think you mean all the time.
By sometimes I mean not when I want to sleep. But yeah, no. Alfred appears to be playing the piano or staring at the piano and expecting it to play itself. Like maybe he's too used to those playing themselves pianos that they had in the Wild West, and he just expects every piano to be able to play itself. and it doesn't. Or maybe this is what he lost the card game and he now has to stare at a piano. Or it could be Canada.
Kyo has said Kyo put aesthetic, and I believe that's probably in response to the bit where it's like, why even have windows if you're in a fallout nuclear shelter?
Aesthetic.
Aesthetic is a very good reason.
Aesthetic, yeah. Alright, so yeah, no, that's that one with lots of, I mean, I like a little flowers and stuff around the edge as well. And I do like this, I always forget what to call it. It's the window design.
Window skin.
Yeah, window skin. I do like that a lot. Right, and finally, this is like of two different things, so I believe this is the first part of it. It says something about this piece looks removable. Take it. And then it's yes or no. It appears to be a picture of the happy family, although that is France. He has had some serious plastic surgery by accident in that picture. A bit scratched up, and he appears to be wearing his heart on his literal sleeve. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But when I'm assuming you remove it, it looks like this. That's not very good at all. It's very sad. So, it's gonna have some little, like, foreshadowy things maybe, like brokenheartedness, some little sadness in there. The fact, like, yeah. I'm not really sure I like to go through it with like saying, yes, it's foreshadowing. But what of?
It could be anything.
It could be anything. But yeah, no, I mean, is this final asset or is this like just a placeholder? I'm just generally interested. Which I could wait for the response, but I'm not gonna.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, I don't know how long the delay is between.
The delay's only about like 30 seconds.
Oh, I can wait. I can wait.
Dun, 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 dun. It's just a placeholder.
Okay, thank you. That means I can go, look, England has 3 fingers. He's secretly a bear. And that is pretty cool. Is he going to turn into a bear? Does your game have a whale that randomly turns up in the middle, and then does England turn into a bear?
I feel like you're just making the guesses so outlandish now because of how everyone reacted to the guesses last time.
What? It's not like I was upset or anything.
He's secretly a bear.
I mean, that's probably why France got scratched up. It's too much in the bedroom, just like... No. Well, Sherry, what are you doing? Okay, it's fine. We'll carry on. Right. So that is Dream Team 1. We've got a lot of little images in there. And next, we're going on to Icy Love, which has got one image, which is a map, which apparently is called Hiding from Switzerland from the thing. They use it. Nope, it will not zoom in. It's apparently it was a GIF, but I'm assuming that's just the image format, not an actual GIF, because I couldn't get it to work. But we appear to have what looks like either a castle or a basement, or both, and there's a cupboard. Maybe it's like Assassin's Creed. Like.
I think I saw something like the brief skim of everything that people had done that I did. I saw something which was like a text post underneath saying Canada's hiding in the cupboard.
Why is Canada hiding in the cupboard?
Because he's an assassino.
He's waiting for
Switzerland. He plays the game like I do.
What, will you just stand in a cupboard and wait for everyone to come past?
Yeah.
And just kill them all? So if Switzerland gets too close, it's like, hey there. Pulls in. Sorry about that. Throws body out again. And that's the game. Assassin's Creed, Canada.
Eddie said, I got a feeling if you take half of the heart, the picture might change. And I don't know whether you saw it when it was on the stream, but Canada's face did change.
Yes, I did see that Canada's face did change, yeah.
So yeah, the picture does change.
Picture does change a lot. I still think he's a bear.
Apparently Eddie says, if you flirt with Liechtenstein, I believe Switzerland will chase you. And I think that that's what that is, apparently.
So it is Assassin's Creed. You just need a pet cat to like pet while you're being chased by Switzerland, and it'll be perfectly Assassin's Creed, like on point. Yeah, that is what I'm taking from that. What I'm taking from that. Alright, so next is the Inquisition. Got a few things. We'll start off with the new busts, which we have ourselves a little what appears to be Lavino and Feliciano in very sporting matching hats. Very nice. And
it looks almost boarding school-y, like...
Oh yeah, I get what you mean about that.
1930s, 1940s boarding schoolish.
I mean, like, fella's getting into the Christmas spirit, already got his Christmas jumper on.
He looks adorable. They both do. But then, yeah.
Yeah, no, it suits the style of what we've seen so far. I mean...
I still can't place the time that this one's meant to be set in, but I get the feeling that it's meant to be set in multiple different times.
Why not? Why not? Next up we have... Ooh, which one should we click? This one. Because it's just, you're a coward. And I just... There's just something beautiful about that time. The picture's called Running 4, so I'm assuming it's if you run away, you're just called a coward.
I see.
That would be my assumption. Or they are being passive-aggressive and this is a personal attack and I am very disturbed by that. Ow. But yeah, no, carrying on from there. We'll be strong. Next we have some switchies. There's Back to the Future. And then Sour Daddy. Nice. 2 switches so far, looking very good.
Nice.
Back to the Future elements. So maybe multiple timelines. Maybe they go back in time and make love to their mother and nearly destroy their whole timeline.
I do get the vibe that it's very much a game which is like about Antonio reflecting on his own past.
Maybe.
Because
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, so far your your switches are named the same way I name them. I mean, you haven't gotten to the point where you're just swearing repeatedly.
Fuck you, Felly, stay in that place!
You have to bring that up every single time.
Not that way, Felly, this way!
Legitimate names of switches that I have made. Anyway, next we have some more little eventing. You shake your head, though it might seem tempting to run away. You know there is much you must do. Yes. And it's a literal button.
I imagine that's probably the other choice.
Perhaps, yes.
Like, you get you're a coward if you choose to run away, and then you get that.
It appears to be in like a third person type thing as well, which is quite interesting, because obviously a lot of games don't do that, which, you know, it's not a bad thing. Pretty good.
First person's maybe.
Yes, first person. Sorry, that's not what I meant at all. Thank you for clarifying that for me. I meant it's more of a text-based adventure game.
People are being like, that's me with switches. Bambi says, is Romania still trying to talk to walls, Poochie? And Poochie's been like, he does sometimes, and Mol likes to clone himself. What a rebel, I love him.
Beautiful. So yeah, there appears to be that. It does say con dialogue, so I'm assuming this is the conductor thing that we saw, because we've seen that now. Because that's what this one says, if I remember rightly. Yes, conductor takes a smoke, so that's who con is. Conductor. You want smoke? Conductor. No, thank you, Antonio. Suit yourself, conductor. But yes. And it appears to be a bomb dropping thing. Go away. Please ignore that. It's still trying to make me update my stuff and I don't want to. Yeah. So it's about bombs being dropped people being able to rebuild. War wasn't exactly yesterday after all. Sorry, I was gonna say fiesta day, and I was like, what does fiesta day mean? Is that like how you respond to somebody when there was a fiesta the day before? Like, yeah, well, fiesta day.
Fiesta day.
Fiesta day. I did this. So I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, it's good. Some good stuff there. Look to the future or look to the past. That's the choice you get. So there is some time traveling.
What if it's like Persona? It's a Persona train, isn't it?
A Persona train. So what? It's going to be given like either a gun or a mask or some glasses, and he's going to go off on adventures.
Yes. Into TVs. It is though. It sounds like it's possibly like the same kind of concept as the Persona.
And this is
Shadow Realm.
This is the only thing I have of this. I don't know what else to say about it. It's very.
Grandpa's dead, you asshole.
I think it's very self-explanatory. People are gonna die. So why not? Let's let him die.
That sounds like Romano though.
No, I think it's Felly. I don't know. There's just something about the way he says asshole that suggests Felly all the way.
So you know that makes me think that it isn't Canonverse.
It doesn't have to be Canonverse.
What's going on? I don't know.
Either that or like the Italy twins are known for kidnapping the elderly to enact like fantasies of having grandparents. Why, is that a bad idea? Right, so next up we have the love triangle, and this is called watering stuff, which is apparently meant to be a mini game, and I can't think for the life of me what that could actually mean. I mean, I see some plants, and it's called watering stuff.
Maybe he's afraid of agriculture.
He's facing his fears.
Yes.
I will touch the plant. I will. No, I'm too scared. Runs away. Yeah, no, it's a very nice map actually, although, is it like a roof garden or something? Might be.
Yeah, it looks like a roof garden.
Yeah, so I'm gonna assume it's a roof garden, which is in this mansion that, if you remember from last week, was named just for him, so why not? And then we have this, which is called Screeny 2, which I like as a name. I should keep my guard up from now on, especially with what happened earlier. But what happened earlier? Who knows? But Austria needs to keep his guard up. It's important. Plus, this trench coat is very fetching. Very nice. But this is like more or less the interior of the house. I thought they'd put a chest on the wall for a second there. That's a shelf, isn't it? It looks like a chest on my thing. Is it a shelf?
It looks like it's a shelf. Yeah, it's one of those kitchen shelves.
Right, okay. I thought it was a chest. I'm very sorry. I was like, why is there a chest floating on the wall? Is that like a special puzzle? But no, so...
Apparently their game got corrupted.
Whose game?
This one.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, I did hear about that. They said they had to do it from the ground up again. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because somebody gave them a script that's meant to help them do that. You know, help them do backups.
Yeah.
Save your games often, kiddies, even when making them. And in multiple files. But yeah. Is this what this one's a reference to, or does this just legitimately happen in the game? Like, I'm there like, that'd be cool if that happened in the game, but I'm starting to think this is just them going, oh no, our game was corrupted. Mm-hmm. I mean, if not, it looks pretty painful. Just gonna get, you know, blasted to pieces. Glitched out. Oh no. Although it's Austria number 16, so I'm assuming this is like the 16th one they made.
Apparently Psy corrupted that one.
So I corrupted this one?
Yep, Psy did.
Wow, you're having a good time. Do you need a hug?
Give them a hug.
Virtual hug. We'll just I'll just hug the computer. Do you feel it? Do you feel the love? I'm hugging you. Alright, then we have Jur 11, where he appears to be wearing the exact same thing as Austria.
Maybe Austria's into that.
Into what?
Dressing Germany up in the exact same clothing.
I'm not gonna answer
They
that.
were on 2 for 1.
2 for 1. You're trying to tell me that they just...
Buy one, get one free on one outfit. One outfit alone.
And he was such a spendthrift, he was like, I bought lots, so here, take them. I'm not gonna lie, that seems very in character for both of them. What's that? The sale? Puts all in basket.
They wanted to be twinsies from the day, says Bambi. Oh my god, twinsies!
Oh god. And finally we have this, which looks like Ukraine. Or Liechtenstein. Regardless. One of the two.
I need to see that in the screen.
Okay, well the headband makes me think Ukraine, but if it's Germanic nations, it'll probably be Liechtenstein.
Has she got green eyes?
She's got blue eyes, so probably Ukraine.
Ukraine. Is she wearing the same outfit?
And they're all wearing the same outfit. Is that the fear behind the game? It's like a fashion, like, disaster faux pas. Everyone just turned up in the same outfit.
Ruchi's been like, oh, maybe they just all dress the same. And Teddy's just been like, shh, it's a secret. So now we know it's an integral part of the game, and I feel bad for taking the mick out of it.
Nah, we take the mick out of our own games all the time. But yeah. What?
They were all, it's not Ukraine.
It's not Ukraine.
Bambi's been like, well, somebody has to change.
Who is it then?
It's Belarus.
Are we both thinking of the same character? Who cut her beautiful hair and who do I have to kill?
I blame Poland. It's probably Poland.
But Poland's the villain, he's making everyone wear the same outfit.
Like me.
Was it like Austria's just gonna fall asleep and wake up with like blonde hair extensions?
He's cut Belarus's hair already. He's just waiting for Austria and Germany's to grow out, and he needs to dye Austria's hair.
What's he gonna do about the glasses? He's just gonna like flip some contact lenses in.
Smash them. He doesn't need glasses.
At what point and how does he transfer his Valley Girl accent into them? Is it like a machine where he just talks into it and it like just like zaps their voice boxes? What?
Everyone's just being like, oh my god, you guys.
Whoa, it's a legitimate problem. Poland has.
Poland's gonna take over the world. Yay. That'll serve those Germanics for destroying his nation. And apparently Belarus.
Okay, so next on the list is the Milk Squad. We'll start with the map. I picked, let's see. So we've got some nice little map work. Got loves in the background. I like the placement of that piano because it's a stool. So you can be working. And then when you're done with working, you just swivel yourself around and you play a bit of piano. Like if you're getting really like what if it's like Austria's like best office ever, so every time he's frustrated just like spins around in his chair 360, slams down on the piano and just starts going for it. I really like this wallpaper and it still makes me think of Millie's cookies. I really want Millie's cookies. In case people don't know what Millie's Cookies is, it's a franchise with cookies, and that's its colour scheme. That in stripes. Moving on. Ooh, you speaking my language anyway. You got 2 types of purple carpet. I like purple. Purple's a good thing.
You're already winning favour with Sammy just by putting the colour purple into your game. Like you can't You can't allow them to win awards just because they put purple in the game, Sammy.
The Poland Award. Everybody put purple in their game. Technically I should be pink, but I don't care. I am the one in charge of this.
I don't like this file's deal. Slam plays back.
But yeah, that's that. It's a beautiful map. I love it. And the rest of these are nicely named, I might add. So we've got one called Ivan, which says, "Next, Matty informed me that Ivan was in on this too. That surprised me, to say the least." Now I'm assuming because it's called Ivan, it's not Ivan talking to himself. It's Ivan looking in the mirror going, "Matty informs me that I am in on this too. It surprised me. Why am I in on this?" But no, I'm assuming somebody else. So who could that be?
Probably America. I'm not gonna lie. If anyone's telling anyone about what Ivan's up to, it's probably America who's being told.
Maybe. Oops, didn't mean to do that. One's called I Don't Know. So let's have a look. How do I do that? Alfie stopped to think for a minute, just like me, because I have no idea. Hold up, I'll think of something. Beautiful. A bit rambly, but that's fine. So we've got Alfie. Is that Alfred, or is it a dog called Alfie? Because I had a dog called Alfie, and that's all I ever think of when I see that name. So does that mean that the me isn't Alfred, if that's the case? Or is it like multiple protagonists? Ooh. And then we've got Cage, which says Kiku. Interesting. This is very big. Corruption has always subsided inside of us. Subsided? America-san. It is just these circumstances has awoken. It has liberated from its incarnation like a formidable. That's a lot of long words. A formidable wind knocking a glass vase over and shattering it to bits. The high winds of despair have brought about the breaking point for the cage that kept the corruption encompassed. America-san. That's a lot of big words. So there's a corruption. It's in all of us. It's very deep. And it's not in us anymore.
That's interesting, because, like, especially if it's reiterating back to the fact that it's about fear. I can imagine America's fear being corrupt, considering things.
It just breaks open, it's every politician ever just pops out the other side.
Yeah, well, considering the foundation of America
Okay.
as a nation being about freedom and being able to break away from corruption, and then, you know, the fact that they're possibly one of the most corrupt countries in the world right now.
I need to look up these words because they're very big and I don't know exactly what they mean. Subsided is correct, isn't it?
Hmm?
I'm looking at the words they've used. What does encompassed mean?
Encompassed.
Encompassed, sorry. Thank you.
It means surrounding.
Thank you! I know things. But yeah, no, that's very nice. Got a lot of tension in that one bit anyway. And then one called Best Writing Skills. So it's, I'm already enjoying it for insert American trying the doorknob sound here. Because there's a sentence that is glorious.
I mean, I've written shittier.
So, yeah.
It's beautiful.
He knocks on the door as well, so there's a door involved, and I'm assuming that door is very important. I bet the door is the villain. It's gotta be, hasn't it?
Doors are often villains in HETALIA games.
Yes, they are. The door is the villain. But this one is locked, apparently. Or stuck, at least. So, yeah, that's all from the Milk Squad thus far. Next up is Sketched Tomatoes, which has one map. Some nice little magazines there. Is that like a schoolroom? Looks a bit like that sort of setup. You know what I mean? Or the world's smallest library. Either one would work. But no, if it is a classroom, that'd be interesting.
I don't remember what Sketchy Tomatoes was like.
Got a lot of Nordics in it.
Oh yeah, now it doesn't make any sense as to why there's a classroom in the house. I don't know. Weird Scandinavian horror stories.
Then we've got a monochrome looking map.
Is this because of last week in the grayscale map?
That wasn't Sketchy Tomatoes that did that.
No, I know, but did they make this because of
I don't know.
towards the grayscale map?
We've got to look some monotone in there. Could be like flashback or dream, or I wanted to do a black and white world because that's symbolic. Sounds like something I would do. And last we have Iceland.
Little white ice.
Iceland.
He looks angry.
Iceland.
Why is he so angry?
Iceland always looks angry. It's like part of his charm.
Why is he so angry? So we've seen Iceland, Finland,
And Denmark.
but no Sweden and Norway.
They could become.
Where are they?
They
Something's happened to them, hasn't it?
Probably. So yeah, we know it's a Nordic game, and what we think is a classroom, but it's probably not a classroom. We probably got that super wrong. So next is not that one, because that's for later. The Trash Trio. They've got a few things up. This one, probably oh, it plays as a GIF. Right, this is they're trying to do this effect down. I'm pointing at the screen. I should really do this. Basically, they're trying to do this effect down here, and they're struggling to keep it in one place because as soon as they go up, the effect moves with them.
Did they ever manage to get it fixed?
I don't know. I just picked this up off of their thing. Is anybody from the group in?
There's a fair amount of people from the group in the chat.
What, from this game?
I don't know.
Is anybody from the Trash Trio in the chat? In the chat.
In the trash.
In the trash.
Anybody from the Trash Trio in the trash. I think they're all in the trash. Sorry. I know you've been talking all weekend, so it's difficult.
I ran like a panel and then I talked all day on Sunday trying to sell stuff. Leave me alone.
Bambi's in the Trash Trio and Poochie is.
Are they in the chat?
Yes, they are.
Well, then did you manage to fix this? Does it still follow you up the road?
They did.
Alright, that's good. So that's a little effect they've got going there, which is very nice. Alright, next we have the full Bulgaria set. Yeah!
Look at the little Bulgaria!
Push his little cheeks. Push his little cheeks.
Pinch him.
Pinch him.
Pinch his cheeks.
I pinched him for you. So yeah, we've got full.
Waiting until it comes up on my screen. There we go.
You happy?
Yeah. I like his little face in the bottom right. It's my favourite.
This one.
Yeah. The little oh no.
Just put his hand over his face, just like
Oh.
So yeah, that's the Bulgaria faceplates. Next we have this, which just says, "Story, I love your stories." Take what you will. There's a lot of stories involved in this. Good time.
We still don't have an answer to why there's a jail cell at the bottom. Why is there a gay baby jail?
Because it's Bulgaria's room. We've been through this.
Have we got confirmation that's where Bulgaria lives?
I don't know, ask.
Is it where Bulgaria lives?
Tracker wants to know if the cage is where Bulgaria lives.
Is that his doggy house? They're just saying reasons. All of the reasons.
Very good. Next up we have this, which I believe is the title screen. And I know you put text on it as well, but I like it without the text, and I didn't know if you wanted people to actually know what it said. So I can tell people what it said if you want. I'll wait for a response.
Apparently, it's Romania's house. So why does Romania have a gay baby jail?
Because it's his sex dungeon. But he tells Moldova it's where the bad men go, which is why he hears screaming sometimes at night. Anyway, yeah, am I allowed to say what the thing is? What the title?
I said no.
No? Not say the title?
I think they said no.
No. Okay, then I will carry on. There you go.
Apparently, the reason they have a gay baby jail is because Ro is a gay baby.
I was right then. So there's that. And then, is this next? Yes, this is. I've been searching for you. I bet you have.
Dun, dun, dun.
Romania goes missing for like 3 seconds and Bulgaria's like, what did he buy? Who did he take?
Where is he?
Who did he kill? But yeah, no, I mean, I guess that means they go missing?
Or, hear me out, Romania ate the last of his yogurt.
That's the point, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like, I've been searching for you, you owe me.
A yogurt?
You owe me like €2 for a yogurt. Because it's bloody good yogurt. Definitely, you're on the ball there. I like this gate, by the way. It's a very pretty gate.
I just like the idea that
My God.
Bulgaria likes to know where Romania is at all times.
It's starting to sound like some of our 2P headcanons. Alright, so this is the room from before, but this is the full map. So, yeah. Corridors and columns. That's all you need in life. And once again, it looks like purple carpet, so I'm very happy.
They also have a purple window skin.
Yes.
And a lot of purple in general.
But yeah, so that's that whole map. What?
If you don't know where Ro is, he might do something illegal. Again.
And then lastly, we have this map.
More purple!
More purple! For some reason, right, I'm assuming this is a library, right? I thought this was a bar. like legitimately, you're studying, you don't know what you're doing with your life. Bar, bam, right there.
Sounds legit.
But every university needs that. You're studying for your finals, you're failing miserably. Bam! Hard liquor. That's all you need.
Sounds legitimate for Southern Europe, I think.
It's not Southern Europe.
Yes, it is. Bulgaria and Romania are Southern Europe.
I thought they were classed as Eastern Europe.
They're Southeast.
Southeast.
So,
So they're Brit.
they're not the they're not the Baltics, and they're not Ukraine.
Right,
and Belarus.
right, yes.
They're more like Greece.
Also,
and
is that
Turkey
a
and
player
Serbia
start?
and stuff.
Is that a player start right there? Because I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to have trouble getting down if that's a player start. Somebody who accidentally made one of their walls walkable. He's going to have some problem getting down. But yeah, no, I mean, it's very pretty, regardless. Nice large room. If this is not a bar, it needs to be. And yeah, pretty good. So that was the trash trio stuff, and last but not least is zombie stuff. We'll start from here, I guess. Got some little sketches. A little bit of a cray-cray going on there. Cray-cray.
I can't see you.
I will wait.
Sorry that the stream's having to put up with my abysmal eyesight.
Tricro recently found out she's short-sighted, so bear with her.
I'm like sitting 2 meters away from the computer screen looking at my own laptop, so like I'm not I'm not like directly next to the screen.
Okay.
So I have a legitimate excuse for why I can't see things. And like, who's being cray cray?
Who's being cray cray? I don't know.
Is it Antonio?
Let's have a look at this one. It's a child something. It's a child something. It could be anyone. But we've got a child in there. And we all know that children and horror go hand in hand. It's like a staple. And if we go back to the original one again, somebody go cray cray. Like happy, sad, I'm gonna kill you. It's kind of what that's
There's 3 stages to how I feel during the day.
Happy, sad, and I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, pretty much. Now we have a full Lithuania faceplate set. I think you will probably like this second column to the right.
There's just ones where his face is like contorted as hell.
You'll see when it comes up.
Apparently there's old stuff that they were bored and drew that, so it's just a sketch.
You put it on the progress chat, you get it put on the progress report.
I see. I love them.
So we've got some Lithuania in there. And then we have a Russia face set. With scarf and not scarf. For reasons. Scarf and not scarf. What appears to be like baby eyes at one point, like, no, I want the cookie. You give.
Does that mean that the person at the beginning was Latvia?
They just said they sketched that, didn't they?
Yeah, I know, but these could still be relating to the game.
They put it in the progress thing. They have to learn this is what happens. And then finally we have the map. It appears to be a garden. A very nice garden. We have 4 exits. Maybe reconsider how these look. Unless they decided to paint like the buff stone black. But I do like that. It's very, very simple, very sweet. It's not bad for a map. What do you think? It's done with the circle tool.
I don't know how finished the map is, so like...
Well, this is all I have so far, so...
If you're going to be continuing it so that there's like garden similar to like the top half of the map and the bottom half of the map, then like that's really good and I really like it. But like if you hadn't thought of that, then put some stuff in the bottom half as well.
Like the barbecue down here, the camper van, you know, Animal Crossing style. So yeah, that is all of the updates we have currently. We don't have anything again, I'll alliterate, I'm very sorry about that. I mean, we've showed everything last week we had, so there's nothing else left to do, but we can talk about some TG time stuff if you like. Hope you also enjoyed all of our bad guessing. I did go stupidly bad this time, but that's more fun that way. And if you don't make your game about the things that we've suggested, I certainly am, because that's funny. Next up we have a bit of teachy time. Teachy time, Poppy. Yay! Today we're just going to look a little bit at different styles of things. Mostly tiles and stuff, and talking about the advantages and disadvantages of stuff. Obviously there's no right or wrong way to really make a game, in theory. But, you know, it could very well be just a style choice. So we're going to start off with the RTP basics. So we have an RTP fantasy sort of thing. You've seen these tile sets before. It's literally not going to change anything. It comes with the basic pack and is a basic sample for, you know, making your games. You alright? Oh, okay. What are the pros of this? Well, they're already there. You can use them pretty effectively, and the game pretty much comes with everything you need to use them to the best of their ability. And there are plenty of like videos on YouTube that show quick mapping, what are the cons of using RTP? Well, some people can find them pretty boring to use, and if you don't use them correctly, everything will look copy-paste. They also obviously are limited in what they do. You can only do a fantasy tile set. I know in MV we had some modern tile sets, but obviously for VX you only have these. But they do have, where's it gone? Their own style for the horror section of things. So it's a lot darker. Sorry about these images, by the way. We got the best we could, but computer does what it wants. Little blood stains, very grubby looking. Pros of this is same as the RTP ones. They're very easy. They already come sort of pre-formatted for the system, so you don't have to worry about like resizing or anything. And they're pretty much set. The cons of this are a bit different. The cons of this is that most of these sort of these tile sets can only be used in a very generic way. Thinking more like how Corpse Party looks as a game, how Eve looks as a game, they're all very much similar, even if they all take on a different route, so it's a little harder to make something.
The problem that RTP files have is that obviously, as nice and as well made as they are professionally, everyone gets them when you get RPG Maker. So the reason why everyone associates RTP files with being bland and unimaginative is because they're easy to access and everyone has them.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not. You can use RTP files to get amazing results. You just have to be aware of the fact that there is like RTP files made for 1 by 1 cubes, like spaces. So the player space is only meant to be 1 high, so your room should only be 1 high, as it were. And then there are RTP files that are made for 2 high.
So you do limit yourself. Another pro of these is that they're really easy to edit. Like changing colours, you know, editing stuff to go with it. They tend to be a lot easier to use than most other things. Most things all tend to use a similar tile set at the end of the day. But yeah, that's the RTP stuff. Next we will move on to Parallax. Yay, Parallax! Everyone knows Parallax. I believe this is an image used to demonstrate the water effect, which, if you can find it online, is a very good tutorial and very good sprites. Parallax mapping, it's the same as using an RTP file, but the images can be more detailed. Now, from what I remember from when we did it in VX Ace, the basis that we did it, and I could be wrong, so if anybody in the chat wants to correct me, they can. We did it where you used 2 layers. You had your ground layer, and then you used an overlay on top with the rest of your images. The pros of this is that you can make better maps. Everything's made in basically a Photoshop or a SAI, you know, a drawing program, and you basically just make the whole map, put everything in it, done. Then you have to just put it into RPG Maker as image files, so that's the background image and image on top, and then you just have to work in setting up the collisions so that, you know, your player doesn't accidentally walk on water, you know, unless you're playing Jesus. Don't know why I'm finger gunning, nobody can see it. So it's, you know, your basic, looks very pretty. You can do a lot of work with it, you know, editing areas just precisely. The biggest con with this is that it is time consuming, and when we tried it we didn't like how time consuming it was, so that's more of a personal preference than anything. And the second biggest con is that once you start doing this, it's no longer built to generate the assets in game engine. You're literally generating nothing but images, so your file gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which is great unless you're working in MV. If you're working in MV and you want your games to be mobile accessible, forget it. You're never going to be able to do parallax mapping. That's generally that. If you do use MV and you want to do parallax mapping, I would suggest looking up the Doodad plugin.
You can have a look for it online so that people can see it.
Alright, I'll look for the Doodad plugin. Hey look, it's the Discord chat. Do that. This one. Right, this plugin is very simple. It's by Yanfly, so you know it's gotta be good. Basically, you can build your map as you would usually in the Maker, so that's just basic walls and ceilings. Then, when you go into your demo thing, you press a button to open a menu and you can edit in-game with your mouse. It only works for Envy because obviously Envy has mouse compatibility. You can also increase the size of things, decrease the size of things. It comes with 10 different layers of tiling. So 5 is the player, same as the player, and so you know, down to 1 is smaller, up to 10 is bigger. You can also change hues. A lot of stuff you can do. There's also an extended one, which is more doodads. Not just this one, which allows you to add ones that react to coding. So something can only appear like on a home base if you've completed certain quests or if you've got certain characters. You know, just to personalize it a bit. You have to remember though, if you do use this, that the collision won't exist until you put it on. So you need to be good at using regions, which is not, you know, too hard to figure out, but it's there. But so that's Parallax for normal fantasy, and we also have a version of Parallax for horror with a very nice creepy girl on the top. Parallax works really well for horror because obviously you can create the atmosphere, you can create the overlays, and everything looks really good. Similar as before, you know, the pros and cons are exactly the same. Because it's Parallax, you're doing whatever you want, you're not restricted, but it does increase your file sizes, especially if you're using Ace or VX Ace. You alright? So, you know, very similar things, but this way you get to see somebody who looks a bit scared. Then we've got the pop style. Pop style looks like this. Pop style you cannot use with RTP files. RTP files are a little more realistic looking than this. Pop style is your basic, very high contrasting colours, more something you'd see along the lines of like the zombie games online. I know this is from a zombie like pack, like, you know, oh, which one is it called? I think it's like Death Road to Canada. I think that's got that style. Basically, it's very high contrasting, so you can see your characters. It's a very sort of intricate sort of style. And then pop number 2, which is an outdoor looking one. Again, you can see the difference. They're very high contrasting, sharper lines, sharper colours. The characters as well for this also look very different. They look more like side-on view characters rather than like 3/4 view characters, if that makes sense. So yeah, don't mix them with your RTP. Again, the pros and cons are the same with RTP packs and such. You know, you can use them, they're pretty much set up to fit to anything. The only real con is that you can't mix these with other packs. A lot of packs out there you can at least mix together, like with stuff from the forums, but if you're going for the pop style, you've got to stick to it, otherwise everything will just stick out like a sore thumb and it'll be like a very big patchwork quilt. I think there's anything to add to that? No? Okie dokie. And finally we have this, which is an isometric map. Can anybody tell me what's different about this from other maps? It's turned a little. This one is obviously the most realistic looking of the lot of them. You can do a lot more interesting trees and such. I believe to make these kind of maps you have to use a type of parallaxing, and you have to have the ability to move your characters in a diagonal way instead of like up and down.
I know that some people have created like some heavy duty scripts and plugins to try and import 3D.
Yeah. So you will need to have a very good grasp of programming, which is the biggest con I think with this, because it's not just basic programming or even slightly advanced, it's you should probably be working for an actual company sort of style. But obviously the pros of it is it's a very beautiful looking map. And you can't say fairer than that, can you? One thing I will point out if you are using parallaxes to be careful with is that with RTP and a lot of the other ones, you can at least tell where you're meant to go and where you're not to go. Parallax, whereas very pretty, you can confuse the player really quickly if you're not careful. I've had this trouble with a few games where I've been plopped in the middle and I've kind of gone, right, where do I go? And because the indications that you would usually get with the basic files aren't there, you tend to get yourself killed very easily. So that's not, you know, the worst problem in the world. That's something to look around. But those are your different types of maps. Yeah. So there's not really any set defines of genre for which ones are best. Obviously, if you want to use horror, use your dark colours. Unless your horror is like, what do you call it from Harry Potter? God, I can't remember her name now. Umbridge. Unless that's your kind of horror. Like key plates all over the walls. For more RPG things, isometric and parallax will probably work very well, but your RTP will be there for all your basic genres. You just need to make sure you have the maps in and that they are properly synced up. That's always a problem you're going to have. The next thing we're going to really talk about is then how do you decide between certain things. By which I mean, if I can find it, I'll use Antonio for an example. Busts versus faceplates. Busts is like this. It's an image that's much larger than the screen. Whereas a faceplate is the teeny tiny picture, which I don't think we have an example of on this computer, do we?
No, we don't.
No. Well, you know what a faceplate looks like. You've all used RPG Maker.
Unless we have them for Zero on there.
Do we have them for Zero?
They're probably either in Mac.
Either
or
in
the
Mac.
rendering folder. There's Mac key.
I'll have a look at rendering. It's probably the quickest. Apparently not.
Then they're in Mac key.
Mac. There's a rendering of there. Oh, we've got some for actual teller, so I can use those as well. Alright, this is a faceplate, and this is a bust. So a faceplate is a small image that comes in a block of 8 that you can use in any way you want. Obviously, most people use a block of 8 to make emotions. Some people just use them to put all their characters on. And there's your bust. In VX Ace, you can use some scripts to bring them in front of your text, or you can leave them behind your text. So we're just going to look about the pros and cons of using these. So first we'll start off with the faceplate. Pros, it's pretty much already set up in the game maker how to use these. They're very quick and simple, and you don't have to put a lot of detail into them to get across who your character is. If you're using a full 8 block for emotions, then you can actually use them to put in exactly the emotion you want the character to feel at the time, but you can do that with both, obviously. The cons of this is it's a teeny tiny image, and if you're like me and you like to design, that is not enough space for you to get across what you've done. So, you know, another con is probably that you are then restricted to how large the things are, and if you do not have a good enough grasp of how to use your drawing programs, they're gonna probably look like stick figures more than they're gonna look like what they're actually meant to look like. One pro for this is that we do use a mixture of both. We use faceplates for in here, we use them for the party screens so that, you know, you have a pretty little picture. And in Spirit Focus we're using them for the basic faceplates, and in the one we're doing for the game jam we're using them to signify when the player is playing the game rather than watching a cutscene. So that's your basic ones. Busts. Pros. Big image. You can put all your little details in there because you love your little character so much. They make the screen more expressive, especially if you're... Oh, for goodness sake. just gotta turn this off. Go away. Anyway. Sorry about that. So it shows off a lot more of, you know, what your characters look like. They kind of look more like they're realistic and interacting with each other. The cons of this. You can lose your character behind these busts when they're on screen. Generally, if you're using them behind the text, you just need to apply them as a picture image. Just make sure you remember to erase them because, you know, that's important. You can have, I think, up to 5 images. Could be more, probably more, on a screen at once, but obviously the more you layer, the more slow your game's gonna run. If you
got a comment from Bambi saying the small size certainly is a challenge and referring to the smaller pictures. I think, am I the only one who does them much larger and copy pastes them into it?
The problem you have is what we do is we do busts for certain things, and then we cut down the bust into the faceplate. But if you're not using that, then you're not going to.
But even when I was doing Midsummer, I would do them like in 1000 by 1000, and then what you shrink them down.
I get you, and that is a possible technique of how to use it. It's just that then you have the problem of, like, I had this when I was working on some of my games when I was doing it alone, is that I would do them much bigger, and when I scaled them down, I'd lose a lot of detail. And that's just, it's trial and error. You have to learn what you need to do to make them look good at a smaller size. It's a hard one to balance.
Yeah.
I know a con of this though. The con when they're in the background is that they tend to cover everything up because, you know, they're there. Big, impressive. If you're trying to get more than one on screen, they can sometimes overlap, which can be avoided, but not always. There is a con if you're using a plugin for bringing it in front of the thing. We have brought it in front of the thing before. We did it for the one we didn't finish in the end, the Servant of Evil one, because that's when we were testing out both the getting the bust in the front and the eye blink and lip moving plugins. We were testing all 3 of them at the same time. The problem I had definitely with that is that you have to be careful how you size your things. And I think I mentioned this last week in thing, if they about size of bust versus your size of your text, is you will lose your text space. And I don't know, there's something about how many text boxes come up in a cutscene which can make or break story immersion, or how much you feel like you're in the story. Like, say if you had a few like, you're supposed to have 4 like speech bubbles and it's done, versus having a bust in front of it that takes up half the screen, and you're having to extend it to 8. It sort of feels longer, you know it's longer, and you're like, right, why can't I get back into the game? It is a challenge sort of thing, but what we found, just as a personal thing, is using both. Using busts for when you want to let the player know, yes, buckle in, this is a cutscene, and one for faceplates when you're trying to show that they're actually in the game. That way you don't get in the way of what they're trying to pay attention to, but you're also allowing yourself to have that extra image.
A good example of this is like when you play some older games, and to be honest, it happens a lot in kind of some present day games as well. Like if you think of most RPG games, when you go and talk to an NPC, you don't leave the third person view to go into like seeing the dialogue and the over the shoulder traditional shot that you would do in, say, like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. It doesn't prompt a dialogue cutscene.
Yeah.
And a more relevant kind of example is perhaps with Corpse Party. When you're walking around the level and interacting with things, it doesn't bring you into, like, if you look at a bucket, for example, it will just bring up text saying, oh, this is a bucket, and like it won't bring up the busts for like their reaction.
Yes, I get you, yeah.
Like it might bring up the bust of, say, another character, but it won't bring up the bust of the protagonist because you are the protagonist in that moment.
Yeah. And so at the end of the day, it's kind of a stylized choice. Personally, I like busts. That is just something that I will always have, because I like to do big designs and I like people to see them. But I understand the importance of faceplates as well. It's easy enough to master either, both, none, whatever, and get it all done that way. Is there anything else we need to cover? No? No?
Not that I can think of.
Alright, so that is us done for this week then, which is not too bad. An hour and a bit. But no, we will obviously go into some stuff next week. We'll hopefully be starting to see some full finished games. I will let people know for the Discord chat, I will be opening up the submissions box pretty soon, just so that it's ready in there. So I will give everyone a link on the Discord chat, and I'll also put one up on DeviantArt for people who want to have a look. Maybe we'll see some testing phase stuff, who knows? And probably next week I will just let people know exactly what they need to submit in order to get the full points, basically. But yeah, so wanna say goodbye? Goodbye. That's goodbye for Trico and a goodbye from me. I will definitely be better next week. Bye bye.